Hello ladies and gentlemen, what's up? Pork Chopper here, and today finally we have all the information for the patch notes of version 42. Of course, if you still don't know by now, coming out on August the 8th. So like I just said, the patch notes have just come out, detailing the rough ideas of what we should expect from the new changes, teasing a few other things. They haven't gone through everything, like gone through every single card. We're going to have to wait to the release of version 42 before we can get our hands on all the new cards and test them out and see how it really works. But in the first video today, what I'm going to do is go over the basic balance changes they are making to all the heroes with the tweaks and everything, and then just give my general opinion on that. And then I'll be doing another video today going over the Skort overview, talking about how I feel what they've done to his changes. So stick around on the channel for that, and over the weekend I'll be doing more videos about the cards and how that's all working in version 42. And not to mention, on August the 8th and beyond, I will be making daily Paragon videos, live commentaries, in-depth hero and deck guides on how to build decks and how certain cards work with other cards and how gems all work with it, and just a general basic guide of how to build decks. So stick around for all that content, but I'm going to shut up and let's get right into the changes. So they've been teasing this for a few weeks now about the changes, and this really doesn't go fully in depth in it, like I said, because they want to keep all the numbers simple and basic, or else this is going to be like a 30-page sheet and me probably talking for about 30 minutes. So let's not do that, that wouldn't be fun. So the first thing they talked about with the balance changes is that attack speeds will be faster. Basic attacks and abilities feel snappier and more responsive. Early game lethality is lower as a result of the attack speed changes. You can actually see on screen now, if I have saved it and put it into the video, the changes of how his basic attack, how it's a lot quicker, a lot snappier. He may have lost a little bit of an animation, but that gives you an idea of what they will be doing to it. So the whole balance of heroes has been rebuilt. The entire gameplay balance has been rebuilt from the ground up. This means that every hero and tower and minion has new baseline stat attributes, and all numbers are no longer comparable. So all the previous guides and deck builds and pretty much anything video content wise of Paragon is now irrelevant, and I cannot wait to do it all over again. But they said within 9 no numerical changes are included in the notes below, like I said, but you have to check their updated hero pages on Paragon's actual website to see your favourite hero's new stats. I'm going to show a few of these pictures on screen if I can, to give you an idea what they mean. So through each and every single hero, I'm not going to go over it because this will take probably way too long to actually copy and paste onto it, but each one has new base health, regen, mana regen, ability, armor, basic armor, and so on, and shows the actual scaling of these stats. So I'll link below the whole hero page, click on the hero, and you can see what that actual stats of that hero will be during the whole course of a Paragon match. They have changed a lot of the formulas, including critical strikes and mana regen. They have both been altered, and they've added support for armor to go even into the negative numbers to increase the damage you can inflict on your foes. All these changes and an entirely new currency system have made for a better gaming experience, but we're going to have to find out for ourselves again on August the 8th. I'm only going to go over the main big changes of the heroes because there's a lot to cover in this video, so I'm just going to go straight over those. All the other ones are either minor visual improvement or bug fixes here and there. Like I said, the main fundamental changes are either with the scaling of the hero in the hero page, again linked down below, so you can see what happened to all your favourite heroes down there. So Quan with his Gift of the Heavens, which was his passive Lifesteal Aura. Now it only grants health back on basic attacks, no longer grants health based on ability damage. So with Gift of the Heavens, now you will have to deal basic attacks to get the lifesteal back, same as any allies near you who get that Lifesteal Aura. Morgus with her Hive ability now has the same damage over time duration on all targets and only slows on the marked target. So before, it always slowed and did damage. However, the length duration was increased if you hit someone with a hive if they were already marked. Now it means it doesn't matter if they're marked or not, the duration will stay exactly the same. However, if they are marked, they will actually get the extra slow on them, as it probably procced a lot of the cards, making it probably extremely strong, but that's an interesting change, and we're going to see how that works out. Rampage is the main one they've detailed as having a proper rework with Skort. I won't be covering Skort again in this video, that'll be in the next video later on today. So Rampage, King of the Jungle, his passive has been reworked, so instead it regenerates a percentage of his max health every second row in the jungle, instead of having extra health regen in the jungle. However, this passive now has also an active. Rampage's basic attack gains increased damage based on his current health for a short duration. This seems pretty cool to give him probably better wave clear in the jungle and just give him something else to his kit, because he sort of hasn't really had much there. In Raised also, his ultimate has again been reworked. Rampage grows larger, empowering all his abilities for a duration. Boulder Throw becomes instant cast, King of the Jungle regen is multiplied by 4 and activates outside of the jungle, and Pounce distance is increased. So it's roughly the same, but I presume with King of the Jungle rework, the regen is multiplied by 4 and activates outside of the jungle is the main change there. But that's all for Rampage, a little buff for him which is very much needed in my eyes. Now we have Revenant with Hellfire Round. Now deals percentage bonus basic damage instead of additional ability damage, so it won't be doing basic damage and ability damage anymore, it'll just be doing basic attack damage. Then we have Richter with his Shocking Punch. Now triggers a punch with a fancy new animation when activated instead of amplifying Richter's next basic attack. So they only have done one change for Seraph, being Heresy. Seraph's weakness debuff only applied basic damage, now correctly applies scaling damage. Bonus damage is now percent bonus basic damage instead of additional ability damage. Next we have Wukong with his ultimate 84,000 heads. And now the clones deal 75% reduced damage to structures. Oh my word, if there was a nerf for hero, Wukong's has been so bad. I mean, wow. So basically Wukong right now is a split pushing god. Once he gets into the mid to late game, he pretty much is unbeatable. He can split push lanes like no one else. So I think this is actually good. I know it was a change which people thought it's a bit silly how quickly he can destroy towers. Again, this is in version 42, so we don't know what the health of towers are, how certain cards affect Wukong and this ability. But overall, I think that was always a change I felt was sort of needed. He can clear waves really well, I just think he could destroy towers way too quickly. Again, that's in the current version of Paragon. We don't know how that translates over to the new version of Paragon in version 42. But now we're going to quickly go over the gameplay systems which are changing. Of course, the economy is changing. Gold is replacing card experience as the primary in-game currency. Players now earn gold instead of card CXP, and of course this rebalances across the currency, the amount you get from hero kills, minion bounties, passive gold drip, amber link, kill streaks, death streaks, and of course every single thing that affects gold. I'm going to be showing a little bit of Iggy gameplay now, as you can see in the top left corner what gold you have now and the new UI system with the new cards instead of the old one. So I'm just going to be showing that now while I go over this. They've also said that gold sharing, previously card CXP sharing, that means if you killed a minion and someone was near you, they would get shared gold from that minion, is now being reduced from 60% shared gold to 40%, so a little nerf there. I wonder how that's going to affect support, because mostly supports always get the gold shared. Hero leveling is something also which I saw in the Iggy rework quite confused me, but the maximum hero level in the game now has been increased to 20. Heroes still receive 1 ability point per level until level 15. So what I presume this is meaning is that there won't be extra levels for abilities, you'll still get to level 15 and that will be the max for all your abilities. However, the next 5 levels will probably give you stat bonuses like your health regen, your mana regen, your armor, your health, you name it. So interesting change there to make maybe it easier to level up during the later ranks, I don't know, but it doesn't affect how many ability points you get, but more to do with probably how the stats work now in the new system. Of course, like I stated before, attack speed has been increased for all heroes. Maximum and minimum attack speeds have been adjusted. Minimum attack speed is 0.33 attacks per second. The maximum attack speed is 4 attacks per second, which is pretty insane if you get a hero to that point. Now we're going to go into crit strikes or crit chance. Each instant or critical strike prots independently, and multiple critical strikes can trigger on the same hit. In this case, the bonus damage stacks. So what they mean by this is that different cards will have different crit chances. For example, 15% chance to deal 75% bonus damage. If you have 2 of those cards, each shot you hit may proc 1 or it may proc both of them. So each card of critical strikes will have a chance to proc once per every shot. That means one shot you may proc both cards, or one shot you may proc no cards. This is probably a way to balance it to make sure that every carry doesn't have to build crit chance, and balance it in the way that makes there's no crit bonus and crit chance anymore. It's all merged into one card. So now we're going to go into many formulas they have readjusted. One is respawn timers. The respawn timer is capped at 80 seconds. I believe right now I think the maximum is like 90 to 100 seconds, so that's a welcome change. They've also changed the way they rework the formulas of it. It depends on how many seconds are during the match, your hero level, and so on. So that's overall a very welcomed change. So now we're going to go over the armor formula changes and what they've really adjusted. The whole maps of it will be on screen so you can look over it, but what they're only talking about here is how negative values will work. So pretty much, to simplify it, if your armor reaches a negative value, you will be dealt additional damage for that damage type. There is still basic armor and ability armor in the game. Also, mana regen formula has been reworked. You can check all the maps on screen right now if you want to go over it fully. Then we have river buffs. They have decreased the black buff damage from 100% to 60% base damage per basic hit with black buff, and also have decreased red buff damage bonus from 25% to 10%. I don't think these were much changes needed currently in the game, but I definitely felt black buff was a teeny bit too good, especially early on. Now we've only got a few changes left, one being Prime Helix. They have removed Orb Prime cards. When you build decks, you will not be able to select one. Every single hero will get exactly the same Orb Prime buff when they take it. Talking about that Orb Prime buff, what they have done is reduced Orb Prime damage bonus buff from 20% to 10%, and also reduced Orb Prime minion health buff from 25% to 12%. And also a quite significant change is that heroes can no longer lifesteal off Prime Helix. They mainly were signaling this out to carries, defeating Prime Helix alone or with one or two players, especially with a Wukong who can pretty much kill it mid to late game, especially late game within 10 to 15 seconds. They see that as being unhealthy, and I fully agree. Prime is designed as a group objective and to require multiple teammates to take it down, so removing lifesteal from the picture with Orb Prime I think is a very smart move. Super Minion Waves. All minions in the Super Minion Wave now deal 40% more damage and have 25% more health. This means that if you're going to lose an inhibitor, those Super Minion Waves seem to be extremely strong, but it's going to be curious how that actually works out. Again, we don't know how inhibitors have been changed, or the whole meta of the game will be adjusted, but this seemed a very interesting change. And these are all the significant hero changes and the gameplay changes they will be doing on update 42. I know this video is going to be quite long-winded, as this is mainly the most of the meat of the information we got today. However, I will be covering all the gems and cards we know of so far and how they will fully function, and also we'll do a Scorch overview later on today, so please do check all those videos out. And after version 42 on August the 8th, which I've probably said a million times by now if you've watched all my videos leading up to this update. But thank you all very much for watching this video. Personally, I am so excited to hear that we're finally getting all the information out we need so everyone can get as fully aware as possible. It's the reason I make these videos, is to make people as aware as possible for the new update. But thank you all very much for watching, especially if you watched it to the end of this video. You guys are awesome, and I'll catch you all next time.